like. Before, when I was in North Korea, we had no information about other country actually. I mean, only Cuba is in a good way. They educate about Cuba. They say Cuba is just next to the America, but they strongly hold their own country. They fight with the U.S. Yes, in that way, and Japan, and U.S. and even South Korea. In a way, I mean the United States and Japan as the enemy. They always say something bad about them. Like for example, U.S. people had big nose, yellow hair,
big nose,
big nose,
okay.
big nose, and yellow hair and blue eyes.
I have yellow hair.
Yeah.
Blonde hair. I think you mean blonde hair.
Maybe we say
blonde.
yellow hair
okay.
in North Korea. 노랑 대가리. Yellow head. In bad way. When we blame someone, we say 노랑 대가리, yellow hair. When we were in North Korea. So that kind of things was only information about the outside. Sometimes about China, they sometimes say good thing, or also sometimes say bad thing. Depends on the relationship between North Korea and China. Yeah. So that was only information. So North Korean people had no information to compare with the other country. So they just listen to the party and our leaders, and that was only information. So we never get angry. Because we don't know how about the outside. We don't know outside the people, foreigners living better than us or not. Yeah, so we couldn't say satisfied. But we couldn't get angry about our leaders. The party always say our leader really trying work hard to make his people having better life. Yeah, but after the huge famine, people escaped to China, and through China, people could get some information. So they can compare. And they realize, North Korea had no enough food compared to other country and had no freedom. Yeah, so they tested the freedom in China. Then more people try to escape from North Korea, and the information get into North Korea through the people and through the videos, through the USBs and these kinds of things. So they changed. I mean, the young people's mind changed a lot. But they just shows like they follow their leaders because they have to survive in North Korea.
Well, so Eun-gu Lee, co-founder of FSI, says the volume is fine for her. Maybe she can hear me talking now.
That's why.
Hopefully it's through the computer she hears the nice volume. So why don't we look at some of the questions that are here. First of all, I just want to point out that Kim Ji-hye says that she read your book. And your book is the reason she got interested in helping North Korean refugees. So you inspired her to get involved. That's very nice. And then question about the wall by Kim Ji-hye. How much do you think this wall could possibly prevent people from escaping?
I mean, North Korea have no enough electronic city, but Kim Jong-un made the plans. I mean, between North Korea and China through the Tuman River. It has electricity. And it makes people more dangerous. And not only that, I mean, the well is not really a well that you can see. In also Kim Jong-un put energy on checking the soldiers. The border guards. Border guards. I mean, before border guards could usually soldiers they will there for several years, until they finish the military service.
Okay.
But these days, who make the military service near the area which is Tuman River and the border is,
Okay.
they just like a few months they change. Only
Oh,
stay
okay.
there for a few months.
Okay.
The regime try to make the soldiers not to have the network with the brokers.
So they can't build their little small business.
Yeah.
Receiving bribes from people. Okay.
Even the government say that to the soldiers, you take the money from the people or from the brokers,
Okay.
then call us.
Okay. Yes.
I mean, before.
So they can get the double rewards. They
Yeah,
can get the
yeah.
bribe, but also they can get rewarded. for
Yeah.
catching people.
They will give you the money. They will
Yeah.
the party, the regime will not take money from the soldiers. You can have it,
Yes.
but also you can catch them.
Yeah.
You can caught them. Yeah. So that's why escaping become more dangerous and risky. And
Yeah.
not only the visible of the well.
Okay. Well, I hope I say your name right. Tolomeo. Tolomeo. Okay. All right. All right. Says he can hear better now,
Salamanca.
so that's good. And then I guess you're being serious. Have there been any attempts made to just throw food over the border? Maybe it's a comedian here, or drop it from airplanes. But do you think China would be very happy for airplanes to be flying over China?
Yeah. I mean, some people really do that through the Tuman River.
Okay.
I mean,
You mean just throw food?
yeah, really. So
Okay.
throw money or things.
Okay.
It happens.
Okay,
Yeah,
right.
it happens. But it has just a few months of this. Couldn't be a lot.
Exactly,
Just
yeah.
for a specific person who already had a connection, or only through the tourist
Okay.
who having a ship, a boat, or
Okay.
from touring the Tuman River. But really a few cases.
Yeah, just a few.
Yeah,
Yeah, it won't
so
solve the
it
problem.
can never help North Korea being having better life in North Korea.
Right.
Never.
Yeah.
Just a few cases.
Okay, all right. But when I mentioned the last question about the wall, when I mentioned it, you say you doubt that they're building the wall. You
Doubt?
didn't really believe that they're building.
Yeah.
Okay. But could you explain about that?
I mean, they have already the electric fans there, but actually I misunderstood it at first time. I thought you were fighting the war, not the well.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Okay.
But the visible wall also, I don't think it's impossible.
Okay.
But because it costs a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and as you said, it's not a short space.
Yeah.
It goes for long. So I mean, so I don't think Kim Jong Un have that much money to make.
Yeah, the only thing is
to
they
build.
might just choose some points
specific
where it's very
points.
short.
Yeah.
they might-
Some places, some spaces that make people easily to escape.
easy to
That
escape.
kind of place only maybe, but it's better make electronic pass to them, not a visible well.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. We got a long question in Korean, but
Mm,
that's
oh.
okay. So now let's just open it up to any questions that people might have. Okay. So I'd like to go back up to the top.
If it's okay, I answer the question
Okay.
about
The question in Korean. Okay.
재한임 임재한 is asking. Some people say the international sanction
Okay.
made North Korean people more difficult.
Okay.
Then he asking, how do I think about it?
Okay.
Yeah. That's actually not North Korean people says. That's North Korean regime says.
Okay.
We are so difficult because of international community, because of the U.S. But if we think other way, I mean, just a few days ago they tried another missile.
Okay.
It costs a lot. So many refugees say that if they stop developing the nuclear weapons, then people might have better life.
Right. Yes.
Yeah. It's because of the international sanction, North Korean North Korean people having worse life is what the regime says. It's not actually North Korean refugees.
Okay.
Of course, some people say that.
There's some, especially
some
political people.
Yeah, some
but I
people
think
say
most
that
people don't.
because they think, yeah, if poor foods go into North Korea, then the food North Korea will have it.
Okay, the government.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but not this compared to the amount to real amount, the less people actually had that benefit.
Okay.
Yeah. So and how to say it make North Korea more. I mean it makes North Korean regime more strongly close their door, not open to the world.
Okay.
So it makes North Korean people stay in a jail forever. Yeah, so it's not just easy to say the sanction made the North Korean people worse.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, I'm not necessarily for sanctions, by the way.
Yeah.
But is there something North Korea can do to get the sanctions off of them? I mean, so are countries just putting sanctions on North Korea just because they hate North Korea? Is there something North Korea is doing?
Yeah.
That sanctions are put on it. So
Yeah.
I mean, when people ask this kind of question, they only look at half of it. I mean, is there something North Korea could do that maybe some countries? I think countries want to deal with.
May I say one more thing is about sanction about the food.
Okay.
I mean during the huge COVID, during the COVID, South Korea tried to giving them some food and the medicine.
Okay.
Then North Korean regime rejected. They don't want to take a leader from you.
Okay.
I mean, they wanted to communicate with the U.S., not South Korea.
Okay. Right.
Food is not important to the regime. Yeah. We want to have more stronger power from the international global society.
Okay.
The leader actually not care about his people. That's why they reject the food and reject the help from South Korea. If he do really thinking about his people, then he will get every help from others. But he rejected. That's also can say the sanction actually is not the problem.
Exactly.
And the sanction is happened because of the development of the nuclear. So if they stop it, then many countries, if South Korea and US will help North Korea people and regime also, but they don't want it.
All right. Now let's go back up to the question from the beginning. First of all, DJ ELF. I don't know how to scroll on this.
Okay.
Oh, maybe it's here. Maybe you can scroll.
Not touched.
Okay, no, it's not a touch screen. Yes, possible. Okay, so okay, DJ ELF 7.
Okay.
If you could say something to the President of the United States, what would you say or ask?
Oh, okay. I mean, sometimes among the refugees, we say that, maybe Biden or Trump, when Trump there, can just make Kim Jong-un disappear. They just don't do it. So
what do you mean disappear?
we don't know how, but
Okay.
I believe they have the power and ability, maybe. But they don't take the responsibility, so
Okay.
that's why they don't do it.
Okay.
But we talk, if the United States make Kim Jong-un disappear, we can solve this problem easily.
I'll tell you. So right after Kim Jong-un took power, I met some different North Korean refugees, and I remember one saying to me, "Your country's so stupid," and I'm like, "What are you talking about?" And he says, "Every day, Obama, This president, every day Obama lets Kim Jong-un live is another day he gets stronger. And then if they let him live, after a few years, it will be almost impossible to touch him. Yeah, so if they're going to kill him, they need to kill him now. I'm not advocating killing anybody. Okay, so,
I didn't say killing.
Exactly. I'm just saying what people said, okay? All right. And then the next question, what is, okay, right here. Well, what is the state of Buddhism in North Korea?
Oh, even the religious thing. North Korea always says that North Korean have freedom of religious, but actually not.
Not true. Okay.
Yeah, only in Pyongyang there are some like symbolic statues, buildings for Catholic, for the Christians, for that Jesus. But actually, in they when they educate North Korean, say religious is the drug.
Okay.
Yeah, that's publicly they educate in that way. So it proves in that North Korea has no freedom of religious. Buddhism also in daily life, people don't know about it and not interested about it because they never get chance to know about it. Yeah, so Buddhism also is not really publicly
so
known thing. Yeah,
so the answer is there's no state of Buddhism there. Okay, and then Kim Ji-hye, would you say there's a large or small number of smugglers helping people, the people helping North Koreans get out?
Brokers, smugglers.
Right. So are there a large number or small number? But before COVID and after COVID?
It depends on the situation, really. If less dangerous, there could be going to be more smugglers, brokers working. But these days, it's almost, it's really risky being a smuggler or working as a broker. So I believe the number decreased a lot, only few of them. But among the brokers, actually, there are some arguments. I mean, they say, I'm the honest one. My way is the better way, sending money to their family or safe or things. But actually, I mean, in South Korea, if we want to send money to our relatives or family in North Korea, if we send $10, for example, then $7 our family may get $7. So it means 30% was cost of the fee the brokers.
Right.
But these days, if your family got 50%, that's a lot.
Okay.
Maybe less than 30%. Sometimes the money just disappears.
Yes.
Yeah, your family and relatives never get the money from you, even you paid. So the broker and things get much dangerous and not safe and much cheating. There are more cheating and lying.
I mean, there are even lawsuits in Korea. People fighting with the brokers about the money.
Yeah.
Yes.
Among brokers.
Even among brokers.
Even among brokers. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. And then I don't know. Okay. This is a more sensitive question. How have your siblings been doing well since your book was published?
Yeah. My book actually never affects my family and siblings. Actually, I have a brother in China and my older sisters in South Korea. When I'm publishing my book, I use the author name. I'm Eunseon Kim, not Eunju Kim. One of the reasons was because of my family. It's my story, but at the same time, it was my family's story. But a South Korea journalist, when he writing article, he just used my real name. So these days it doesn't matter.
I mean, what I think. Well, this is FSI's channel, so I won't curse, but I'll just say, what a bad guy to use your real name when you were not trying to use it.
But at the first time, I didn't mention about that because I'm not that really know about this kinds of things. Yeah. So.
But it should still be your decision, not the reporter's decision. So, all right. Well, it's a related question. Can you still contact your friends and families
In North Korea?
Family members in North Korea?
I never have contact with my friends. We have no family left in North Korea, but we have some relatives. And once my mom heard that my uncles having business in the market in Seongjin, so she tried to find her, to contact her, but it was failed. Then she never tried. We just thinking, no, she's having not good life, but not that worse life, because she's doing business. May we not contact her? That's better, because we are in South Korea.
Yeah, this is one of those questions, and again, it's okay people ask, but I mean, it's dangerous to contact your relatives in North Korea.
It's dangerous to them.
For them. So a lot of, and no criticism of the person who asked the question here, but this question comes up almost every time, and I think people don't realize just the difficulty and how expensive it is. And again, let's remember, there's no like YouTube like this in North Korea. There's no Zoom. There's no Skype. There's no WhatsApp or any other way to just easily contact people. So if you're gonna contact them, it's gonna be difficult.
Through the broker, pay a lot and dangerous.
And I mean, and I've told this story before, and I told it yesterday. We just had an event with students from Harvard University, and someone asked this question also. And the point that I made is that 7 years ago, my grandmother's sister died. But the same day, one of the North Korean refugees in FSI, her grandmother died. Okay, I went to Texas to be with my family at the funeral. She could only make a 5-minute phone call with the family member, and it was very difficult to arrange it, everything about it. And then only a short phone call, because they have to be careful. So this is one of those questions I understand people ask, but I think they don't, there's a big context about how difficult and dangerous it is for people.
Our case, we didn't spend much money to finding our relatives, because my mom give up somehow. But other refugees really pay a lot to finding their families, and even you found them, it costs a lot. I mean, relatives always, not all the relatives or not all the family, but many of the North Korean relatives ask you more money.
Okay,
so,
I've heard.
So it makes you really painful. Actually, you have to have your life here in South Korea too. Then you need money. You are not richer. Just a refugee who came to South Korea with empty hand. Only they can earn money through working. Then they have a limitation of the money. But their families and relatives in North Korea, they think there are South Korean relatives who, I mean, the refugees who are here, they thinking they have unlimited money. I mean, they when the way they asking for money feels like. I'm not the money of the machine.
I'm not an ATM. Okay.
Marriage sometimes say marriage who's sick and who's die, and who's have to go to university. There are several reasons, and all the reasons that they say it sounds emergency. You feel like you have to have them, but your money is limited. So it makes North Korean refugee who lives in South Korea feels really painful and difficult and feel sad. They want, but they have not that much money.
Okay, now we said we'll do 30 minutes. Let's take a couple of quick questions and quick answers. So first of all, Roger, one of your former tutors, Roger Feely says, nice to see you. Are you doing well? Are you doing well?
Yeah, I think so. I'm happy working with FSI, here. I mean, before I'm working here, I was just taking care of my 2 daughters at home. It made me feel useless, sad. But here I'm working here, I could find myself.
Okay.
I feel happy with that.
Wow, sounds good. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see. And okay, this is a big question. North Korea does a good or bad job cooperating with other countries in regards to agreements and human rights issues. Next time. Next time. Okay, we'll save this
Don't
question.
make him disappointed.
All right. Is it fair to say that North Korean defectors have the best mothers in the world?
What is this question?
Is it fair to say that North Korean defectors have the best mothers in the world? Well,
what is it? I didn't understand about the question exactly. Can you explain to me?
Yeah, next time.
Wow.
And then Kim Ji-hye again. How easy is it to become a broker or smuggler?
Not easy. It's brokers also have to work with their life.
Okay, anybody can become one, but
not everybody.
I know anybody can do. Nobody can stop you.
Yeah.
But nobody has to choose you.
Yeah.
So my understanding is to become a broker, long term, you have to have a good reputation. So if you cheat
actually
people,
you have to have a good network first.
Yes.
So who have a network among between North Korea and China and South Korea can do business. Can be a broker or smuggler. But if you have no the relationship or network between North Korea and China, it's really difficult. So if you want to be a broker, you have to build the network first. But I don't think it's legal.
Yeah, so
actually,
so you don't get a license to become a broker or smuggler.
Yeah.
You just do it, and then if you're good or good network, then,
sometimes even you did something right thing, but I don't know, you get punished by even South Korea government. So you should be, if someone want to be a broker, have to be careful about the situation and things.
Okay. All right. Great. All right. I said we'll do 30 minutes and. I want to check. We have 627 subscribers, so please subscribe if you haven't already done so. We'll do this again sometimes. Okay, she's in the office, so it's a great opportunity for us to have these chats. And if you haven't done so already, please support us, fsi21.org. Patreon, you can find us. I do updates almost every day on my Patreon, but the FSI Patreon is like once a week. That will update that, so it's a good way to support us as an organization. If you don't have the book already, my 1,000 Miles of Freedom, My Escape from North Korea, available on Amazon and probably other places.
We'd better every time you introduce our book too. I mean, greeting to the.
Okay. Green Light the Freedom and My Father's North Korea Story. Okay.
I mean. Some people might don't know.
Good. Okay, yes, FSI is in the world of publishing now, and if you haven't gotten it already, My Father's North Korea Story, Won Che-han and Bong Hee-han, and of course, Green Light the Freedom, Song Mi-han, and the co-author is Casey Lartigue Jr. So yes, please buy those books also, and make sure you support us, and please message us, let us know if you appreciate having this kind of discussion so we can have more of them.
So before we said that if we have next live, that it's better take questions before the live, no?
Oh, yeah, if you send the questions in advance, we can also consider those. Yes. Yeah. Okay, great. All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay, bye. Yes.
Good evening, I'm Amna Nawaz.
And I'm Jeff Bennett. On the NewsHour tonight, the U.S. economy adds more jobs than expected in May, showing resilience in the face of inflation and interest rate hikes.
Congress avoids a default on the nation's debt by passing a bipartisan bill to raise the debt ceiling with only days to spare.
And Greenland pushes for complete separation from Danish control, casting uncertainty over the future of the North Atlantic island.
In the end, it has nothing to do with you in Denmark that we are acting this way. It has everything to do with us wanting to move forward in our lives.
Major funding for the PBS NewsHour has been provided by the ongoing support of these individuals and institutions, and friends of the NewsHour, including Jim and Nancy Bildman, and Kathy and Paul Anderson.
Actually, you don't need vision to do most things in life. Yes, I'm legally blind, and yes, I'm responsible for the user interface. Data visualization. If I can see it and understand it quickly, anyone can. It's exciting to be part of a team driving the technology forward. I think that's the most rewarding thing. People who know BDO.
Cunard is a proud supporter of public television. On a voyage with Cunard, the world awaits. A world of flavor, diverse destinations, and immersive experiences. A world of entertainment and British style. All with Cunard's White Star service.
The John S. and James L. Knight Foundation, fostering informed and engaged communities. More at kf.org.
And with the ongoing support of these individuals and institutions. And friends of the NewsHour. This program was made possible by the Corporation for Public Broadcasting and by contributions to your PBS station from viewers like you. Thank you.
Welcome to the NewsHour. The nation's job market has turned in another strong showing. That's despite the Federal Reserve's efforts to slow the economy and curb inflation.
U.S. job growth in May was significantly higher than analysts expected. The Labor Department reports employers added a net 339,000 jobs for the month. The increased hiring came in everything from construction to restaurants to healthcare. At the same time, layoffs rose in other sectors, and unemployment hit 3.7%. That's up from a 50-year low in April.
Now to the day's other headlines, starting in eastern India. A train disaster there has killed at least 120 people and injured 850 others tonight. Two passenger trains collided about 130 miles southwest of Calcutta, and at least 15 cars derailed. A chaotic scene unfolded in the dark, with hundreds of police, rescue workers, and others trying to free an estimated 200 people trapped in the wreckage. The Biden White House says the U.S. will not build more nuclear weapons for now to counter Russia. Instead, National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan said today the U.S. will adhere to limits under the 2010 New START treaty so long as Moscow does.
The United States does not need to increase our nuclear forces to outnumber the combined total of our competitors in order to successfully deter them. We've been there. We've learned that lesson. Nor does the United States need to deploy ever more dangerous nuclear weapons to maintain deterrence.
Russia has suspended participation in New START, but it's still abiding by the limits in the treaty, which expire in 2026. Extreme weather plagued much of Asia today. Southern and eastern China sweltered in nearly 100-degree temperatures as heat waves arrived early. Meantime, Japan was hit with heavy downpours and flooding from the same storm that lashed Guam days earlier. More than 100 million people were under alerts. Back in this country, former Vice President Mike Pence will not face criminal charges over classified material found at his home in Indiana. It's widely reported that the Justice Department informed him Thursday, days before he announces his presidential bid. Mr. Pence's lawyers searched his home back in January at his request and found about a dozen documents. The FBI found another one later. An internal review has found that a Border Patrol nurse practitioner declined to review a migrant child's medical history before she died last month. The 8-year-old had heart problems and sickle cell anemia and contracted the flu. Officials previously said the girl's family did not share her medical records until after she died. One of the nation's best-known military installations shed its Confederate name today and became Fort Liberty. It had been Fort Bragg since 1918. Soldiers gathered for the ceremony at the North Carolina base. The commanding general said there was no shortage of ideas about disposing of the old symbols and signs.
This is the United States Army. We received a lot of specificity of what to do with that. Everything was collected up, every monument, everything, and that'll go to the Center of Military History.
Fort Liberty will still be home to the Army's 82nd Airborne Division. Its name change is the most prominent yet, and a Pentagon initiative to drop Confederate titles. On Wall Street, stocks jumped after the strong jobs report eased worries about a recession. The Dow Jones Industrial Average gained 700 points, or 2%, to close at 33,726. The Nasdaq rose 1%. The S&P 500 was up nearly 1.5%. And this year's National Spelling Bee champion is Dev Shah, an 8th grader from Florida. The 14-year-old took the title at the Scripps National Spelling Bee in Washington last night. His winning word was Samophile, an organism that thrives in sandy areas.
Samophile.
P-S-A-M-M-O-P-H-I-L-E, Samophile? That is correct.
The title comes with $50,000 in cash and prizes. Congratulations to him. And still to come on the NewsHour, multiple attacks inside Russia raise questions about the next phase of the war in Ukraine. Jonathan Capehart and Gary Abernathy weigh in on the week's political headlines, and we break down the major takeaways from the first game of the NBA Finals.
This is the PBS NewsHour from WETA Studios in Washington and in the West from the Walter Cronkite School of Journalism at Arizona State University.
Crisis averted. That is the message from lawmakers as the deal to raise the debt ceiling makes its way to President Biden's desk. For the White House Perspective, I spoke earlier today with Gene Sperling, senior advisor to President Biden. Gene, welcome back, and thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
So this deal does protect a number of key Biden investments, infrastructure, semiconductors, and so on, but some groups have called it a betrayal. For those people who do feel that betrayal, older food stamp recipients, folks who think this makes the climate crisis worse, what is your message to them?
Well, first of all, let's remember this passed with